Postpartum depression is an issue. I do find that when we do a lot of preparation, like when I have the um, uh, gift of working with her from when she's trying to conceive through the pregnancy, usually the postpartum will not be much of an issue. And if it is, it's fairly easily treated with acupuncture.
I was wondering about that because I've had experience. I was first in a first marriage where there was a tremendous postpartum, and it did not seem that anyone knew how to treat it.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of it is related to the fact that they're not getting regular sleep, and that really has a pretty heavy effect on their neurochemistry.
Oh, sure.
But there are ways with the acupuncture to balance the neurochemistry, and then it's supplementing the glands that are stressed, such as the adrenal glands, from not sleeping and from all the changes with the body, and making sure that they're being replenished. I think part of the reason why postpartum is so prevalent is because there's no sort of postpartum plan for women. Traditionally in societies, they would have, certain teas and soups that a woman would consume. There were certain protocols of how she would bathe and that she needed to stay warm and this and that, and we just are not keeping up with any of that traditional wisdom.
Well, some of that might be. I'm just thinking, with my younger daughter, uh, we had a home birth. And we had a midwife and doula. And the doula came and cooked for us for several days and told us some more things that we could do. And I never thought of it in terms of postpartum depression, but that might have a lot to do with that.
It does, because I don't believe that it's a problem with a woman's mind. I believe that the physiology has been altered by the loss of blood, by a heavy change in hormones, and that will affect the neurochemistry. It's not that a woman necessarily has any issue with depression per se. It's just the physiological change is leaded to a neurochemical change. When you reset the balance by giving proper nutrition and support, oftentimes it can solve itself. I love hearing that you had a midwife and doula and that you had that support and wisdom, and I do wish that something like that was built in for everybody, to know that there just has to be extra care taken after that, after a woman's body, spirit, and everything goes through an event like that, like childbirth. It's a big deal.
Or you don't only have childbirth, but right after that, before you even can rest, you're supposed to be a mother.
Right.
You're supposed to be taking care of that
Yes.
child.
Yeah, and breastfeeding can be tough to get going, and the various challenges that women can have in that time period. And so, in the traditional societies that I've spent some time in, like India and China, there was often a woman present, and not even necessarily a family member. Even the poorest families had that paid a woman to be there at the birth. Something in the form of we could say a midwife or doula, but oftentimes they were just there to be present and to be a support for the woman.
Yes, and having that support is wonderful. Very important.
Very, very. As much as men play such an amazing role in our lives, I find that women play that particular role very, very well.